Hey, listeners, ready to transform your sleep? Cozy Earth is all about lasting luxury and comfort. Their bamboo sheets have been called the world's softest sheets, cooling, moisture wicking, and unbelievably soft. And I can tell you they get better with every wash. And they have a 100-night sleep trial and a 10-year warranty.
But it doesn't stop there. They have bath, sleepwear, loungewears, and even skincare. Free shipping on orders of $50 or more.
Make sure you go to cozyearth.com, use our code INFOGO at checkout to save 21% off. You can find all of this in the show notes. Welcome to the podcast. I'm William.
And I'm Kat.
And that makes this a dash of info.
Little things you want to know.
Kat, there's no other way than to just jump straight into this one. Imagine a typical morning commute. You're sipping your coffee. You're kind of half awake, coasting through that familiar intersection or turning out of your subdivision. Mounted high on an unassuming black pole sits a small solar-powered box. You probably didn't even give it a second thought as you drove past it. It caught everything about you in that moment. It didn't just log your license plate, it recorded your car's exact make, model, color, along with that faint dent in your bumper from when you backed into that pole right outside of your driveway or that mailbox maybe. Before you even reach the highway, your vehicle's digital fingerprint, well, it's been digitized, time-stamped, and logged into a searchable database.
That's scary. This silent observer is a massive part of a rapidly expanding network built by Flock Safety, which is a technology firm specializing in automated license plate recognition. Today, tens of thousands of these solar-powered sentinels line the streets of local neighborhoods, private commercial centers, and public intersections across the nation, quietly connected to local police departments and regional law enforcement hubs. On paper, they represent the ultimate modern security tool. An automated safety net designed to instantly flag stolen cars, locate missing persons, and help police track down suspects before a trail goes cold.
However, as these small black boxes quietly proliferate, they raise a profound dilemma that reaches into the very fabric of public life. Are flock cameras an indispensable 21st century crime fighting tool that keeps our communities safe? Or are we quietly constructing an unregulated nationwide dragnet surveillance state? In this episode, Kat and I, we're going to strip away the sound bites and examine this technology from every angle. We're gonna dive into the compelling law enforcement cases for these networks. We're gonna hear the sharp warnings from civil advocates and just unpack how homeowner associations and private businesses are becoming, neighborhood watch commanders.
To understand why flock cameras have expanded so rapidly, you have to look at the immense pressures facing modern law enforcement. Now, across the country, police departments are battling severe staffing shortages, leaving fewer officers to patrol vast municipal areas. For those agencies, Flock technology acts as an ultimate force multiplier, an automated eye that continuously scans the roads without taking a break. Instead of relying on an officer happening to spot a wanted car in traffic, the system delivers instant real time alerts the second a stolen vehicle, a suspect's getaway car, or a plate linked to an active amber or silver alert passes by a lens. This allows dispatchers to deploy officers directly to a precise location within seconds, drastically turning the tide in a time sensitive investigation.
I think they should be used in turquoise alerts too.
Same.
Okay. What truly sets Flock apart from, legacy LPRs or license plate readers is the proprietary Talon AI software. This software really creates what the company calls a complete vehicle fingerprint. License plates can easily be stolen, covered, or swapped, but Talon, it looks far beyond the numbers on the metal. The system scans and catalogs a car's overall visual profile, identifying its precise make, model, and paint color, along with distinctive physical features like roof racks, custom hitches, missing hubcaps. Does car still have hubcaps?
Yeah, they're just plastic these days.
Oh, okay. Or altered plates. If a witness to a hit and run can only recall seeing a blue pickup truck with a ladder rack, police don't need a full plate number. They can, they can dive into this database for the exact physical signature and narrow down suspects in minutes.
In minutes, you say.
In minutes. You know what? I think really we need to I think here we should stop and really kind of figure out how flock cameras work.
At a hardware level, flock cameras are engineered for quick, low friction deployment anywhere on a roadway. Rather than needing complex electrical wiring or trenching, each unit is self powered by a small solar panel and an internal battery backup, communicating wirelessly via built in 4G LTE cellular connections. Now, to capture crisp footage around the clock, the camera relies on high power infrared LEDs, allowing it to record detailed images in deep darkness or heavy weather without producing a blinding flash. Furthermore, instead of streaming continuous video 24/7, the device conserves power and bandwidth by using specialized motion sensors calibrated for vehicle speeds, triggering a high resolution burst of still images only when a vehicle moves into its field of view.
Once an image is captured, the system performs edge processing right on the device before sending lightweight data packets up to the cloud. On device optical character recognition, or OCR. And this extracts alphanumeric characters from the license plate, while proprietary machine learning models, they analyze the vehicle's complete visual profile, cataloging the color, body type, unique features like roof racks or bumper stickers. Within seconds, this synthesized vehicle fingerprint, it's cross-referenced against national and local law enforcement hot lists such as NCIC databases for stolen cars, active warrants, Amber Alerts, so on. If the algorithm finds a match, the platform instantly dispatches an automated alert with the precise location and vehicle photo directly to local officers, smartphones, and in-car computers for the police department. We're going to get into some of the controversies, but mm, I think that's a lot of power to put into an agency without some serious oversight.
Especially agencies that are under constant scrutiny for doing such very things. Now, these capabilities have produced a steady stream of success stories that win over local officials and residents alike. From speeding up the recovery of stolen vehicles to tracking down drivers in hit and run incidents, proponents point to concrete evidence of crime being solved that might have otherwise gone cold. In residential neighborhoods, the visible presence of these cameras creates a tangible deterrent against persistent property crimes such as porch piracy and catalytic converter theft, giving communities a renewed sense of security and peace of mind.
Addressing privacy concerns head on, Flock emphasizes that its platform is built with strict, built in safeguards designed to prevent bulk data retention. By default, footage and location data are automatically purged after 30 days unless flagged as part of an active criminal investigation. The company, it maintains robust end to end encryption. It tries to avoid the use of facial recognition technology and repeatedly assures the public that its data is never monetized or sold to third party commercial entities. And Kat, I'll say before we get into the dark side of all of this, I've got to grab a Coke.
I'm going to go grab a Pepsi.
Are you sure you don't want to grab a Coke? I mean, there's flock cameras out there. I know you're drinking Coke.
Only if it's a flavored Coke, but not a natural Coke usually.
Well, I just got an omission from Kat that she does drink Coke.
A vanilla Coke.
I do like Mountain Dew, and that is a Pepsi product.
I I like Mountain Dew sometimes. Occasionally I'll get a Mountain Dew.
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Ready to turn an ordinary day into an unforgettable adventure? Check out QR Hunter. It lets you create custom treasure hunts with reusable QR code tiles. You can personalize clues, puzzles, photo challenges. You can do it all in just a few minutes. It's perfect for birthday parties, family game nights, classrooms, parks, team building events, or if you just want to have family fun. The free QR Hunter app, it works with any smart device. The adventure, it never really ends. You can search for QR Hunter on Amazon, or you can simply click the link in the show notes. But let the adventure start today.
Yet, beneath the promise of automated safety lies a far more troubling reality. Transforming local policing into a framework of passive mass surveillance that directly challenges traditional Fourth Amendment protections. Instead of investigating specific suspected crimes, these camera networks operate indiscriminately, capturing and cataloging the movements of millions of law abiding citizens as they go about their everyday lives. Over time, this consistent logging creates a detailed, revealing map of your personal life, recording trips to medical clinics, attendance at political rallies, visits to places of worship, or even late night stops at a partner's house. What was once a private moment in a public space is converted into a searchable permanent record of human behavior.
The vast reservoir of sensitive location data, well, it invites misuse and dangerous mission creep, which history has shown that when powerful surveillance tools exist, their boundary lines tend to kind of blur. Reports have already documented instances of officers abusing the flock camera system. They look up privileges for personal reasons, such as tracking ex partners or spying on peaceful protesters. Even more concerning is the borderless nature of cross agency data sharing. With thousands of departments connected to the same network, location history can easily cross state lines, raising some serious constitutional alarms about out of state law enforcement tracking individuals seeking sensitive medical procedures such as reproductive health or monitoring undocumented communities for immigration enforcement.
And finally, the physical footprint of this technology risks amplifying systemic biases already embedded in the justice system. Multiple investigations have revealed a clear pattern of disproportionate camera placement, with a heavy concentration of lenses deployed in lower income and minority neighborhoods. When combined with instances of discriminatory search queries logged within agency databases, the technology doesn't just passively observe crime, it risks actively over policing vulnerable communities, turning neighborhood streets and digital open air prisons under the guise of public safety.
Beyond public roads and municipal police departments, flock technology is expanding rapidly into the private sector as well, creating what can best be described as gated communities without gates. Homeowner associations, HOAs, residential property managers, and commercial shopping centers, they're increasingly purchasing and installing their own private flock cameras. For neighborhood boards, the promise of virtual gates offers an easy selling point. Round the clock monitoring to deter property crime, package theft, and unwanted intruders without the high cost of friction of physical security guards.
However, bringing automated license plate readers into residential neighborhoods introduces uncomfortable neighbor versus neighbor dynamics. Unclear boundaries raise urgent questions about governance and personal boundaries. Who actually controls access to the footage? What prevents an overzealous HOA board or property owner from monitoring when specific residents come and go, tracking late night visitors, or scrutinizing personal routines? When private citizens gain access to detailed vehicle tracking tools, the line between community safety and hyperlocal surveillance becomes blurred.
Perhaps the most significant aspect of the of this private expansion is the seamless public private bridging that occurs behind the scenes. Private flock cameras feed, well, they don't just remain isolated on local HOA servers. Instead, they are routinely linked directly into regional law enforcement networks. This integration effectively allows police departments to tap into a massive, privately funded web of surveillance cameras without needing public approval or city council to debate it. In doing so, it really erases the traditional boundary between private property oversight and public police authority, quietly reshaping how neighborhoods are monitored.
While automated systems promise precision, the reality on the ground is plagued by technical limitations, optical character recognition, or OCR errors, and outdated database entries. Flock's algorithms can misinterpret letters and numbers, confusing a 0 for an O, or misreading a state of origin, or match a vehicle against a hot list that hasn't been updated to reflect that a stolen car was recovered weeks prior. When software relies on flawed inputs, the digital trail it generates is fundamentally compromised, transforming everyday vehicles into false targets.
So, the real world consequences of these glitches within the algorithm, well, they can be swift and dangerous. When a false positive alert hits an officer's dashboard, protocol often dictates an immediate high risk response. Innocent drivers carrying out routine errands can, well, they can finally suddenly find themselves surrounded by a squad of cars with weapons drawn because they thought it was a stolen car. A simple OCR mistake or a stale database entry can escalate a peaceful commute into something horrifying, life threatening, even, exposing law abiding citizens to unnecessary physical risk.
Faced with these compounding risks, municipal leaders and law enforcement agencies across the country are reevaluating their reliance on automated surveillance. A growing wave of municipal backlash has led several cities to pause camera rollouts, launch independent audits, or let contracts expire altogether. Driven by concerns over high false hit rates, unauthorized cross jurisdiction data sharing, and lack of public transparency, communities are beginning to demand stricter oversight and accountability before handing their streets over to an automated lens.
So, at its core, the debate over flock cameras brings us face to face with a fundamental societal tension. The balance between convenience and security on one side, and individual privacy and personal autonomy on the other. As these networks expand, we are forced to decide how much of our everyday freedom are we willing to surrender in exchange for the promise of swift justice and safer streets.
This does leave us with critical policy questions about where the boundary lines must be drawn. Should access to these nationwide interconnected databases require strict judicial oversight, mandatory public auditing, and clear warrant requirements? Establishing robust safeguards may be the only way to ensure these surveillance tools remain targeted crime fighting assets rather than turning into unchecked mechanisms for public monitoring.
So, as we bring this episode to an end, consider this final thought. The next time you drive through a busy stoplight or turn into your neighborhood, take a moment to look up at that unassuming black box sitting on a pole and ask yourself, is it quietly keeping you safe, or is it silently keeping tabs on you? I think we should just end here.
Yeah. If you like this podcast, tell a friend and help get the word out.
If you would like to support the show, you can do so at Patreon or take advantage of our sponsors. All of those links are in the show notes. And for until Kat and I start our year two, we are releasing everything entirely free on Patreon. All you have to do is become a member, and you can be a member free.
As always, William and I want to thank you for listening.
Whether you've been with us from day one or just tuning in, thank you.
Join the Facebook group at Info on the Go
Over there, you can get to know us.
or ask us a question.
But whatever you do, make sure you hit that follow button wherever you're listening to this podcast.
Send us some fan mail using the link in the show notes or leave a review.
Leaving that review really does help others find us. And you can email Kat or myself directly at
infoonthegopodcast@gmail.com.
and all of this is in the show notes. Till next time.
Stay curious.
Hey, listen up. All of my workforce friends out there, whether you're ranchers, farmers, or you just need a pair of good leather gloves, look no further than Bare Knuckles. The best leather gloves ever made, featuring a patent design crafted for natural curve of the fingers. These gloves deliver a perfect fit, superior protection, and all-day comfort. Made from premium leather, right now get an exclusive 15% off, and you can find that at buybareknuckles.com, but make sure you use our code INFOGO at checkout. You can find that link in the show notes. Upgrade your hands, and remember, every purchase, well, it supports the show, so thank you.
If you love unforgettable treats, you've got to try Molly B's gourmet cookies. These aren't your average cookies. Molly B's brings bold, artisan crafted cookies straight to your pantry. We're talking chocolate, cherry, and amaretto and be cordial. Earl Grey, lavender, white chocolate, and lemon glaze in the tea. Even maple, bacon, whiskey, and white chocolate in the Boss Man. Founded by a single mom from Alaska, Molly Bees has become a national sensation. You get 10% off any product using our code INFOGO at mollybees.com. Find the link in the show notes.